Bum 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 ba-dum. Hey, bum bum. Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all of it at Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room, live from Mobile in Sweet Home, Alabama. And of course, join me there way across the pond in the outskirts of Tokyo, Japan. Talking about the huge one there, Dave Coco. What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. Feeling good. Yeah, we can do pay-per-view profits. How we do it? You put down your comments, down your predictions, and then if you get them all right, and you come to the mean streets of Yokohama, I owe you one high five. So,
Or you could pass that up for what is ever in the box.
but a high five could be in the box.
Yes, it could be.
Oh man, I just want to say something before we get started. AEW, for your international audience, there is a fan base in Japan because of Kenny Omega, and you put your pay-per-views on Saturday. Like, I was so let down. I was like, dude, we gotta work Monday. I don't know if you know this, but in Japan, we always go to work. Doesn't matter the situation. We go to work. Saturdays are awesome because if you do it Saturday nights, that means Sunday morning we can watch the pay-per-view. Duh, what? Because they've had Saturday night pay-per-views, and when I was watching the preview show, and they're like, "Oh, on Sunday night," I'm like, "God, son of a!" Ugh. That was my reaction.
Yeah, they moved it to avoid conflicts, and finally when they moved it to the 7th on a Sunday, I think they were just like, "Fuck it, we're not moving it anymore." So I think it was so they wouldn't compete. I believe it was with a UFC event or something. I'm not 100% certain on it. They moved it, but it doesn't matter what you do. It's kind of you're going to inconvenience somebody.
Exactly, and not all that, but even if you compete against UFC, so what? Do you think the NBA gives a fuck about the NHL? Do you think you know what I mean? It's just dumb. It's dumb. And all that, but now that you move back from Saturday and Sunday, what happens when WWE runs a pay-per-view? Are you going to go back to Saturday? No. Stick to Saturday. Matter of fact, everyone, pay-per-view night is Saturday night. There, I said it.
I agree. I think it'd be more convenient for it to be on a Saturday, but that's neither here nor there. So, all right, Coco, we got Revolution. It's going to take place March the 7th at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida.
Have we been here before?
Yeah, I
time?
think they've been there a couple of times. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to go check the records on that one.
All right.
But okay, I'm going to do this in no particular order here. I know I'm going to start out here with the pre-show match first. We're going to have a tag match here. We have Riho, the returning Riho, teaming up with Thunder Rosa to take on Dr. Brit Baker and Rebel. Now, Coco, as I mentioned here, Riho had just come back from Japan. Had been doing, I believe she had been doing some Joshi shows there, and then of course Thunder Rosa on. I don't even know if she's on loan from the NWA right now because I don't know if her contract's expired. But and then you've got Britt Baker who's just been hounding Thunder Rosa for weeks, almost for months now at this point. Looks like these two are going to clash again in a tag team match, and I think it works out because every time Britt Baker is in the ring with Thunder Rosa, sometimes Rebel just always gets involved in some capacity, and so I just think it's good to bring it in here. But here's something interesting, Coco. I got a theory kicking around here now. On paper, I'm just going to make on paper, the prediction is that Riho and Thunder Rosa are going to win because it looks like that Rebel's just pretty much there to eat the pin and protect Britt Baker. She makes a march towards the women's championship. But I've heard some rumblings here, Coco, that Rebel may not be her partner. She may get a substitute, and there's been a couple of names I've heard kicked around here. And I'm going to get your thoughts on it real quick, but I'm going to ask you this, right now, as it stands, assuming this match as it's written takes place on the pre-show, who do you got and why?
Deep down inside, I don't care. And I'm not being mean. I really think the pay-per-view is main event heavy. I don't think this is a good pay-per-view from top to bottom, but the main event carries it. With that said, I'm going to say Rio and Thunder Rosa because That's my deep analyst right there.
Yeah, must be good. Well, I mean, I don't think you would want to, I mean, Riho has been out for the longest time. I mean, she came back in the Eliminator tournament. I mean, she actually lost to Thunder Rosa, but it was a hell of a match. And Thunder Rosa is, honestly, I hope AEW finds a way to sign her, or they work some kind of deal where she can do both NWA, which is coming back later this month, and AEW. But I just don't think you want to have, the returning Riho eat a loss like this, but you don't want to have Brit Baker eat a loss either. So I'm thinking it's either going to be if the good guys lose, it's going to have to be Thunder Rosa eating the pin. If it's the bad guys losing, it has to be Rebel eating the pin. But here's what I'm hearing.
I'm just gonna add something real quick, if I can, real
Okay.
quick. I think Britt Baker can lose. I don't know if she can get pinned, but she can definitely lose. She's character driven. She's a character driven heel. So, does her record even really matter? Does her wins loss?
I mean, yeah, she could get her comeuppance because I mean she humiliated Thunder Rosa's protege, Maddie Rinkowski. She beat Thunder Rosa in the Eliminator tournament via some shenanigans with a turnbuckle. So yeah, there could be time. Thunder Rosa could get some. Could finally turn around and beat up Britt and make her pay for what she's done. But anyway, and maybe I'm just saying this because I've heard this and it makes the matchup seem a little bit more interesting. Is that Rebel, whatever you want to call her, won't participate in the match. That they're going to have somebody sub in, and I've heard one name being kicked around is Serena Deeb, because she's the NWA Women's Champion.
That would be pretty nice. Little cross promotion.
And they could reignite a feud between her and Thunder Rosa that'll be going into the NWA's reboot.
Yeah.
And the other name I've heard kicked around is they've signed a deal in principle with Thea Trinidad, who a lot of wrestling fans would better know as Zelina Vega.
I like the NWA one a little bit better. We could save her premiere for something else. Boom Boom. I have a problem. The whole time you're like, someone's gonna make a comeback. I didn't want to cut you off, but I was like, Gail Kim, please, because I didn't know this rumor. I didn't know anything about this, so I'm like literally on the fly. Oh God. There, I love Gail Kim. There, I said it. I don't know how people feel about it, but I said it. It should be interesting. My biggest fear is because it's a pre-show, they're just not going to care, but it would be nice to add some story to it. And it would be nice to have, and I'm not saying AEW doesn't do this, but just pro wrestling in general, have consequences for the pre-show match. Mm-hmm. I mean, when's the last time you cared about a pre-show match? Be honest. I don't know, man. I don't even usually when we did reviews, especially towards the later time of us doing reviews, maybe it'll come back next month. We just skipped over the pre-show match.
A lot of pre-shows, we skipped over. But
Sheamus defeated Chavo Guerrero. Okay, now on to the main event. Now on to the main card. It would be nice. I like the NWA because the NWA situation where the NWA champ comes out, because it helps NWA grow. It helps the illusion of territories grow, which I'm a big fan of. And on top of that, it seems like it's the most important thing that will happen in the pre-show. And I honestly enjoy it a lot. All right, let's get to the real show, Booms.
All right, on to the main show. Now, what we did find out is that the first match, the opening bout, is going to be a tag match. It's going to be the Young Bucks taking on the Inner Circle. That's Matt and Nick Jackson versus Chris Jericho and MJF. And the AEW World Tag Team Championships will be on the line. This match came about when the Inner Circle won a tag team battle royal. They've been on the heels of the Young Bucks. They beat up Papa Buck a couple of weeks ago. So now, here we go. Here's one of my predictions for this, besides pain. Look for the Young Bucks to blatantly start slapping their thighs. The reason I say this is because WWE issued a statement said, big bold letters, no thigh slapping. In fact, they will fine you there for slapping your thighs. And The Young Bucks cannot resist ribbing WWE, take little pot shots at them. So look for them to be doing a lot of super kicks with thigh slaps. Just look for that. But on paper,
hold on. Can I just stop for a second?
Oh yeah,
because
please.
I gotta throw some rocks at WWE. So you can't work a stiff style, and you can't thigh slap. The fuck is going on in that company, dude? What the fuck? Like, you can't fight for real you can't hurt each other and fight for real, and you can't make it look good by fucking using illusion to fight. What the fuck are they doing in that goddamn company? Are they playing fucking paper, rock, scissors? The fuck? Don't do a stiff style like New Japan. Don't you dare use an illusion like pro wrestling. The fuck? What the fuck are they doing up there? What the? Don't do hardcore. Don't do pile drivers. Is that motherfucking ballet out there? What are they doing? I might watch Raw just to see what the fuck they're doing, because they are eliminating a lot of stuff. They're like, all right, don't do stiff style. Don't do dangerous moves deemed by fucking the internet. Don't fucking use illusion. Don't use chairs. What the fuck are they doing? I swear to Christ, is their next pay-per-view thumb wrestling? I gotta watch WWE just to see what the fucking product is. Don't bounce off the rope. Don't throw people over the top rope. Don't go to the top rope. Don't even look at the fucking. Matter of fact, fuck the ropes. Don't lock up. Don't stare at each other too long. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck they're doing up there. Go ahead. Back to this match.
Back to this match, looking at this, I mean, I should be a little bit more jazzed over this, but I'm more interested to see what's going to happen, the fallout from the Inner Circle, because, it's being teased that maybe MJF wants to take over the Inner Circle. It's like we kind of know he's going to do it, but we just don't know how he's going to do it, how he's going to pull it off, where, what steps is he going to take, what's the end result going to be. So I'm interested in it from that aspect, but from other than that, I'm really not, because and people don't hate me for this, but I'm just going to say it. I really don't like the Young Bucks as tag team champions now.
How dare you? Yuri, is that you?
Can I explain my reasoning?
Hold on, give me a second. I got to mentally prepare for this. Okay, go explain your reason, sir.
All right, the reason it's because I know that behind the scenes the Young Bucks are the ones who are booking the tag team division, so it's hard to buy them as like underdogs, who are scrapping and clawing their way to the top, when behind the scenes they're the ones booking all this. And I feel like they've kind of when they first started out with SCU, then later Omega and Hangman Page, and then FTR, I was like, okay, they're doing good. They're building up the tag team division. They're going to come in there and do their thing. And then they had that match with FTR. Well, the problem with it wasn't necessarily the match was good. The match was good. They just AEW's got this. They've got this bad habit where they're really good at starting feuds. They're really good at starting stories, get me interested in it. And they're very good at ending the stories, but they just leave that whole middle part out. Now, Dave, I know you're an author. You've written 2 books, Operation Freak Show and Look at the Orphan, cheap plugs.
In all honesty, you can ask any writer. The middle part's the hard part, sir.
Exactly. So that would be like you saying once upon a time there was a princess in a castle, and then the White Knight slayed the dragon in the end. It's like, well, wait a minute, what the fuck happened in the middle? It's like, yeah, but it's a good ending. It's like, okay, yeah, I agree. It was, I like the setup here, I like the ending, but I just don't like where's the stuff in the middle? And I was going to give it a chance because I wanted to see maybe they're doing something here. They're going to set it up for something where it would make sense. But I feel like, I was like, okay, did FTR's contract run out? They have a dispute. They're going to bolt. No, they didn't. They're still there. Oh, are they going to do something with, Inner Circle where, Santana Ortiz, win the championships and then all of a sudden it's Inner Circle versus Inner Circle? They didn't do that. And I just don't like it. I feel like they should have stuck with FTR, and they should have had a match, and then the Young Bucks should have lost. And then finally they should have scratched and clawed their way back up the division to earn a match at this pay-per-view, and then saying, okay, now if we can't win it, we'll break up as a tag team. and you do what you did, at the last pay-per-view now. I really felt like that would have been a better story, but no, they cut all that out, and it's just been them, at the top of the food chain here, and I'm just not digging it. I don't hate them. In fact, I like the Young Bucks. I really do. I think this is going to be a good match. I just don't like how they booked their way to get here. So, but with that being said,
hold on. I got to do the first 2021.
oh,
Lee Corso. Not so
please.
fast, my fellow friend. I agree, but I also disagree. So I'm playing devil's advocate. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, Boom Boom's right, but then I can't Lee Corso you if I agree with you. So I'm playing devil's advocate.
Well, how am I right? But how am I wrong too?
You're right because the middle is missing. You're right because it should be FTR. But where you're wrong is FTR could come later. Now, where I think this is interesting, and I wish every wrestling promotion did this. Boom Boom knows what this means. Wrestling Ranted, older wrestling fans know what this means. This match, I was Sunday Night Heated. Now, for those that don't know, Sunday Night Heat was an MTV show. And they would cut preview shows before that. And a lot of times, fans were like on the fence of buying a pay-per-view because it was expensive. It wasn't $9.99 back in the day. It was fucking like $60 goddamn $40 to $60 depending on where you lived.
What it was. Yeah, you were looking at spending at least $20 up to $60 depending on what the pay-per-view was. If it was Mania, it was $60. If it was just something like, like Backlash or Bad Blood, something like that.
And where you lived mattered too.
Yeah, 33. Yeah, true. And what cable provider you had. Yeah.
Yeah. So where I lived when I was buying these pay-per-views on my own, not stealing them, my area, my cable company was $40 a pop. Now, $40 a pop on a pay-per-view like this, like Revolution, which by the way I'm still paying that in Japan prices, but I can't because you did it on a Sunday night, you jerk. You lost $40. Take that, Young Bucks. I was Sunday Night Heated. I watched the preview show. I have no idea why wrestling stopped doing this. The preview show, A, if you've been watching, pumps you the fuck up. B, they can Sunday Night Heat you, a.k.a. talk you into the building with video packages. And 3, if you're like, oh, I fucking work all the time. I'm 2-3 weeks behind, like me. I'm catching up. They Sunday Night Heated me. I was like, this match is fucking stupid. This match serves no purpose at all. And then I went on YouTube and I'm like, watch the preview show of Revolution. I'm like, don't mind if I do. And because usually a preview show nowadays is buy the pay-per-view, here's a match. Buy the pay-per-view, here's the match. There's nothing building it up, like not back in the day. I mean, how many times when WWE was somewhat presentable did you go, I don't know if I want to buy it. Let me check out Sunday Night Heat. And by the end of Sunday Night Heat, you're fucking like, here's my credit card information. You know what I mean? That's what they did. And this has to come back. I don't know why it went away. I think WWE needs to do it. I think Impact needs to do it. AEW just did a Sunday Night Heat. They just did video packages. And the video packages for this talked me into the building. Jericho, tag team versus not tag team. And that's the thing. If you're not going to have a middle part, which I agree with Boom Boom, at least talk us into the building. A lot of companies don't have the middle part, don't have the ending or the beginning, and they don't even talk us into the building. We just buy it, and when I say we, the masses, I've stopped. We just buy it because, well, we always have, I like being talked into the building. It pumps me up, and I did not give a fuck about this match until they talked me into the building. I didn't care about it, stupid Papa Buck. Didn't give 2 fucks. If it's done with John Cena, it's done with the Young Bucks. Too many pro wrestling fans are so loyal to the company letters, they stand for nothing. Listen, if John Cena's dad is pathetic, so is the Young Bucks' dad, okay? Dads suck. Hashtag dads suck. But they talked me into the building. I like the fact that Jericho's like, oh, I haven't done this, and then he's done everything. MJF talks him into the building. The Young Bucks talk about their vision. They talked us into the building. Now, the thing is, FTR and the Young Bucks are going to go down. The question is, how fast? How long are they going to wait? Because if the Inner Circle wins, they have to wait longer. And I don't know when their biggest pay-per-view is, how many months away. Because here's my thing. Revolution isn't their biggest pay-per-view. They don't have many pay-per-views, but there is one that's big. What is it? Do or Die, Salami and Cheese. What is their All In? All In is their big one, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is no
Yes.
pay-per-view called Salami and Cheese. Boom Boom, calm down. But
You
All
know
In.
what? I actually would like some salami and cheese now that you mention it.
Hell yeah. But I think they're going to save FTR for All In. And here's my prediction. How far out the months are, that's how. If All In is 3 months away or less,
Mm-hmm.
the Young Bucks win. If All In is 6 months or farther away, then Jericho and MJF win. I think the Young Bucks are going to win, but my prediction, let's find out. Hey Siri, when is AEW All In 2021?
Okay, I found this on the web for Hey Siri, when is he Wall?
Okay, well, they didn't answer my question. Thanks, Siri. But my prediction is, depending on how far out All In is, I think the Young Bucks win. If it's closer, if it's farther away, I give it to Jericho and MJF. But
Yeah, All In typically takes place right around late August, early September. It's right around
so that's what
Labor
4
Day.
months away.
Labor Day. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go Young Bucks win this then. But that's my theory on it. And not only that, but yeah, it sucks. Know why it sucks? Because I was about to say, how is the crowd reaction towards FTR?
Yeah, and here's another
And
thing.
that's can't even predict that.
Yeah, another story that I've heard is they may have Papa Buck come back and, stop MJF and Jericho from cheating, or you may have Sammy Guevara come back and screw over MJF to get him back for, basically him quitting the Inner Circle. And I'm like, dude, if you're hinging the whole match, like the whole match that raises the one thing that's going to raise your interest about a match is whether or won't there be outside interference. I'm like, guys, I don't know if you've done this right. I mean, yeah, storyline it would make sense, but if you're hinging a lot of things off of that,
listen,
I don't know.
Fuck Papa Buck. Hashtag fuck Papa Buck. This is the only
come on.
thing.
The man
No,
put
it's
The man
bullshit.
put strawberry jam on his face for TV. Come on. And sold it like he was been gashed open. You know what? You need to show a little respect.
You're right, Pooba. How's that a line? Listen,
Would you do that for your kids? Would you pour strawberry jam on your face for your kids? Yeah, I didn't think so. But Papa Buck did.
All right.
Would you build a wrestling ring in the backyard for your kids? Huh?
All right. I apologize to Papa Buck and the Bucks. But with that said, I'm going to put on my fantasy booking cap. The only way, I'm going to be Doctor Strange. The only way this is good is if Papa Buck comes down and Jericho and Numbnuts are threatening to hurt him and the Young Bucks super kick him. Because they're like, oh, we'll just super kick him, get out of the way, and there's no interference. If that happens, then it's mediocre at best. If anything besides the Young Bucks super kicking Papa Buck happens, it is fucking garbage. End of fucking story. It is garbage, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And anyone who made fun of John Cena and his dad, I was one of them. You need to make fun of Young Bucks and dads. You gotta fucking stay orphan strong, or the lucky orphan today. But yeah, as far as Sammy coming back, it would be interesting. I want a clean winner. I don't care who wins. Like, all this running shit should happen after it you know what I mean? Yeah. After the match is cleanly decided.
I mean, you got Wardlow running around, and then you could have any other member of the Inner Circle show up. Of course, then you could have Papa Buck or Sammy Guevara come out to even the odds. But let's just keep the shenanigans to a minimum.
Or at least shenanigans after there's a clean finish. I'm okay with here's a clean winner. Okay, shenanigan. I give that a pass. But if shenanigans decide the match, I call out Papa Buck to a thumb wrestling match, WWE style.
Loser has to pour strawberry jelly on his face.
Exactly. Let's do it, kids. All right, next match. I didn't think we were going to break that match down as much as we did.
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and get this one out of the way just because this is the match I'm least looking forward to. And it's kind of sad because I actually kind of like everybody who's involved in this, but it's another tag team match. You have Miro and Kip Sabian taking on Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Of course, the best friends have been in disarray since Trent tore his pec. He's out. They had a little bit of a feud with Miro and Kip Sabian because they got rammed into one of their gaming machines early on. Chuck Taylor lost a match to Miro, making him and forced him to be his butler for a few weeks. But Chuck got his revenge by sabotaging Sabian and Ford's wedding. So they've kind of been bouncing back and forth. I'm not liking it because I really felt like Miro's presence in AEW, like his whole run so far, has just been completely underwhelming. I do like the whole idea, the whole best man gimmick. He's kind of like a modern day Mr. Perfect. I like that. I actually like Kip Sabian. I think he's very underrated. I like Penelope Ford. I think she's improving in the ring. Even though there's not a lot of appreciation for him, I do like Chuck Taylor. That awful waffle he does is absolutely brutal. I love that. Orange Cassidy has really taken off. But for some reason, I'm just really not interested in this match. It's like, okay, they're going to have a fight. And I feel bad that it's kind of come to this, that it's kind of like, okay, whatever, just hopefully it's quick, short to the point. Because I think Trent really is the glue that's holding that whole team together, because it just feels off without Trent being there. Just, Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. And I think they're going to use this as an excuse for Miro to run roughshod, because the good guys have managed to get back at the bad guys, and I think it's the bad guys who are going to come back for some revenge. So I'm going with Miro and Kip Sabian win this one.
I think this is the worst thing AEW has done in a really long time. I think it's fucking garbage. I think it's beyond fucking garbage. And if you, listening, a pro wrestling fan, and you fucking say this is good but hate WWE, go fuck yourself. You just love letters. Fucking ABF for life! ZKY for life! You fucking have no standards. You do not know what you want. You are confused, and you should be ashamed of yourself. With that said, how the fuck do you make Miro just a shit character? You called him Mr. Perfect. Apologize to Mr. Perfect, his family, and everyone that's ever used the word perfect a day in their life.
No, I didn't say he was perfect. I said his gimmick is the best man, because he is the best man at what he does. I said it's a modern day take on Mr. Perfect, is what I said.
No, and you still need an apology, sir. Hashtag cancel Boom Boom. Listen, Miro is actually a fucking awesome dude. Why the fuck isn't he awesome? He owns a fucking football team. I want to own a football team. He plays video games on Twitch. I want to play video games on Twitch. Twitch.tv/KocoSports. Fucking, he's got a hot ass wife. He's got fucking muscles. He literally is fucking everyone what they want to be. Do you want muscles? Yes. Do you want to play video games? Yes. Do you want a hot wife? Sure, why not? Do you fucking want to fucking be a pro wrestler and own an American football team? Yes. He is literally the coolest fucking guy in the world. And what? He's in a wedding? He's a best man? What? Stop. Stop. What the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck? You fucked this up. I think this is garbage at the highest fucking level. And there's a spot for comedy. There's a spot for goofiness. And then here's the thing. If your name isn't fucking Randy goddamn Savage, fuck you and your wedding. Okay? Sorry, James Legend. Fuck you and your wedding. Anyone who's ever been married, boom, boom, fuck your wedding. Is your name Randy Savage? I don't fucking think so. Listen, if your name is not fucking Macho Man Randy Savage, fuck your wedding. There, I said it. All right? That's it. I don't want to see your stupid-ass fucking wedding. By the way, James Legend's going to be putting his wedding on Twitch because, all his friends live across the world. Congratulations, James. But you ain't no motherfucking Randy Savage, I assure you.
Is he going to get up out of the wheelchair for that?
I think he is. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. It's kind of dark, Boom Boom.
Wait,
Jesus
you
Christ.
should explain the context of that, otherwise I sound like a dick.
You are a dick. But anyway, yeah. No, James Legend's in a wheelchair, and sometimes he can stand up.
He's not a paraplegic, is what we're saying. He's not a paraplegic. He has some, I think it was a kidney issue, so he has to be in a chair. But he's not a paraplegic. He can walk. He can stand up. I was just wondering if he's going to do that. If he's going to really stand up in a tux for his wedding. That's all I'm asking.
All right. It did not come off good, sir. I'm glad I was here to have your back, Boom Boom. Cancel culture. Be like, we're going to cancel Boom Boom. Like, goddamn right we are. Welcome to 2021, Boom Boom. Yeah, I guess Miro wins. Who gives a fuck? Now, here's the thing. Boom Boom has a vision that he thinks he can be a modern-day Mr. Perfect. If he does start being a modern-day Mr. Perfect and get rid of all his stupid-ass friends and get rid of the fucking wedding, it could work. But as long as he has his stupid-ass friends and there's a fucking wedding, he's not Macho Man. There you go. Hashtag can't get married unless you're Randy Savage. There you go. You know, I think that's if I was a divorce lawyer. But I want a divorce. Of course you do. You're not Macho Man Randy Savage. Embarrassing having a wedding. All right. I don't give a fuck. People are like, oh, you went on a fucking rant and rave. It's goddamn Miro, Kip Sabian, an orange, and fucking one of the best friends. This match sucks. It's booked horribly, and it's fucking dumb. All right? At least we could fucking talk about Macho Man. That was the big fucking win out of this goddamn segment. Fuck this match. Fuck this segment. And anyone that's like, yeah, this is good, question everything about you. Just be like, am I wrong? Just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Booms. Next match.
Yeah, let's get out of the tag matches for just a moment. Let's do a singles match here. This one is going to be a big money match. You have Hangman Adam Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy, where the winner receives the loser's 2021 first quarter earnings. Adam Page has kind of pretty much isolated himself since he and Omega lost the tag team titles, and he ostracized himself with the Young Bucks. Matt Hardy, ever since he about killed himself in that match against Sammy Guevara, has been kind of like upset. Says he's going to take back advantage of people like the business is taking advantage of him. So he's been working as like an agent. So he signed a private party. He gets 30% of whatever they make. He tried to do the same thing to Adam Page, but Adam Page saw it coming and made him sign a contract, and they pulled a little bit of a switcheroo here. Well, in this one, they finally went back and forth, and they said they had this big money match was taking place. I like it from the aspect of, well, I mean, wrestling is a business and people do make money. They make money for matches. They make money on royalties. They make money on merchandise.
Boom Boom, I never heard an indie wrestler who makes $40 a week talk about how much of a business it is. Wrestling's a business? I never heard that by an indie wrestler who makes less than $100 a week. Go on.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like it from the aspect of it's a little bit more kind of real here, but it kind of loses me. It's because let's just face it, when you have two people that, make more money than like both of us combined, or like, it's like when rich people fight over stuff, you're like, okay, why the hell should I care? But I kind of like it, it's okay. It's literally a money match here. It's kind of old school. Looking at it, I think it could go either way, but I'm going to give the edge to Big Money Matt Hardy specifically because he's got a private party in his back pocket, and he's also got TH2. He's been paying them off to, deliver beatdowns to Adam Page, and also he's been using them to hurt the Dark Order. So I'm thinking he's got at least 4 people that can run interference for him and all that, and plus I think if you have Adam Page lose and he's broke, he's going to need friends, to get by. He's going to, and this is where the friendship with the Dark Order could blossom here. Or I mean, yeah, it could go the other way now. I mean, you're going to see, Matt Hardy get a little bit. If he loses, he's going to get a little bit more dramatic. He's going to really want to push Private Party to do more matches, to do bigger matches, so he can collect more of the revenue. Well, no, because he's going to be he's going to lose all of his earnings right there. So he's going to be big money, but he's going to be broke and kind of screwed. So it'd be kind of ironic. So it might be interesting to see how he reacts to that. But I'm still going to give the edge here to Matt Hardy.
I'm enjoying this storyline. I think Adam Page is one of the people that stock has grown tremendously in the AEW. And it seems like a lot of people are losing stock, and that's not a good thing, AEW. But Adam Page's stock has gone through the roof. This storyline is stupid, but I feel like the wrestlers know it's stupid, and I feel like it's done better. You know what I mean? I feel like there's bad ways to do comedy and good ways to do comedy. And Miro, where the fuck his name is a bad way. Hangman Adam Page is a good way. Either way, I think storyline-wise, it's going to be great who wins or loses. I'll be rooting for Adam Page because the thing is, if Matt Hardy loses all his money and Adam Page is rich, where does he go from here? He still, has a bunch of wrestlers. So it'll be interesting to see his reaction. Hangman Page is hitting rock bottom, being drunk, maybe joins the Dark Order. There's just a lot of options. So I don't know. I'm enjoying this storyline a lot more. As far as the match goes, Adam Page can go. Matt Hardy has had a career of up and downs, but he's very popular, so we look past that. When I say we, the masses. I think Adam Page will win, but I think this is one of the few matches where you're like, ooh, where's it going to go after this? You know what I mean? So if you're going to knock AEW for bad booking, you also got to praise them for good booking. I'm enjoying this. So my prediction's Adam Page, but I'm very looking forward to where the storyline goes moving forward. And it should be interesting because you say how there's no middle part. I don't feel like this is the end of the story. I feel like this is one of the middle parts of the story. So it should be very interesting. And I don't know. I really like what has happened to Adam Page over the years in AEW. And I know it's been a short time, but man, time seems to be going slower these days.
Next here is the Casino Tag Team Royale. They're going to have 15 teams participating in this one, Coco. They're going to start out with 2 tag teams in the ring, and then every 90 seconds a new tag team is going to enter. And then a team is only eliminated when both members of said team are thrown over the top rope and both feet touch the floor. When there's one team left, the winner of that will go on to get a championship match against whoever the tag team champions are going to be in the future. And Coco, there are 15 teams participating in this one. I'll read them off real quick. You have Bear Country. The Dark Order's actually got 3 tandems involved here. First, you've got Alex Reynolds and John Silver, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, and you also have Alan Angel, 5 and 10, so Alan Angels and Preston Vance. You've also got the Inner Circle being represented by Santana and Ortiz, the Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Pac and Phoenix representing Death Triangle, Matt and Mike Seidel, Austin and Colton Gunn of the Gun Club, the Pretty Picture, that's the tandem of Pretty Peter Avalon and Caesar Bonani, SCU, the Natural Nightmares, the Varsity Blondes, and Jurassic Express.
It's kind of cool how many tag teams they have. This reminds me of WWF in their prime when they had all those tag teams. Some things have failed and some things have been fantastic as far as AEW goes, and the tag team has been pretty goddamn good. I'm just gonna go with the best athletes, and I'm going Pac and Ray Phoenix. Expecting great things out of this match, but I hope it's not a speed fest. Just here you go. But I think Pac and Ray Phoenix, the Death Triangle, I just think they're too athletic to ignore.
Can I make one? Here's a little observation I wanted to make. This is why I'm glad that the Young Bucks Inner Circle match is first, and then this match is later on, because I feel like if this match was first, it potentially spoils it spoils the ending of the Inner Circle Young Bucks match, because if you figured, well, if good guys win it, then that means the Inner Circles are going to win the tag team titles. But if bad guys win it, then, well, the Young Bucks are going to retain. But if you put that match first, and then you put this tag team battle royal, later on the card, I mean, you don't know. I mean, you don't know which one of these teams is going to win. And even so, I'm looking up and down here. I think I'm going to go with the feel-good story. I'm going with the Dark Order, and I'm going with Reynolds and Silver.
Okay.
Just because Silver is just fucking over, and you know what? Him and Alex Reynolds, I don't think they could get praised enough. I think they have some good stuff going in the tag ranks, and I think they have some spots where they really hustle, and they hit a lot of combination moves at one time that I absolutely love. And if the fans absolutely love them, and I just say let's have the feel-good moment. I'm going with Reynolds and Silver.
All right, there you go. Next.
Next after that, we're gonna go do here's the two I want to do. We're gonna do a street fight here. It's Team Taz. That's Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin and Sting. Or excuse me, it's Sting.
I was gonna Sting and Darby Allin. Like, I really want Taz to win because he's such cut promos. It's. You know what? Fucking, I'm going Team Taz because this is gonna be unpopular. Not a big fan of Sting since he turned to the Crow. Yeah, that's right. I went there. And Darby Allin. Just something about him. It's like, hey, dude, he's cool, right? Like, stop telling me how fucking cool he is. I don't know. I like Taz. I like Brian Cage. Ricky Starks, indifferent. Some people love him. Some people hate him. I'm just, he's there. I can't see Taz, a great promo guy, with Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, who's a young, fast guy, losing to Sting, 476 years old, and Darby Allin weighing 3 fucking pounds. And the problem is, it's not even his muscle list. Brian Cage can actually go. So it's not like he's getting in there with fucking, I don't know, Muscle McMusclestein, Lex Luger type. Brian Cage can actually wrestle, so it just seems silly. It'll probably be Sting and Darby Allin because, feel good, TNT, fucking face paint, yay. But it's just, sometimes good guys deserve to lose. You know what I mean? That's it. Sometimes good guys deserve to lose.
Coco, I think when I talk about this match here, I think people are going to call me hypocritical, and I would completely understand why. But I criticized AEW earlier, particularly with the Young Bucks and Inner Circle, because they haven't told the middle of the story. And this is where it gets hypocritical. I feel like with this story, all it's been is middle. That's all it has been. It's been Darby Allin been taking a beating from Team Taz in one shape, form, or another. You had Powerhouse Hobbs turn on him and then, join Team Taz. Darby, getting his ass kicked by, Brian Cage and then not backing down. And then Sting comes out. They kind of form an alliance because Sting's like, oh, he reminds me of me. It's like, okay, that's fine. But every week it has been the exact same thing. Team Taz, somebody talks some fucking trash. Sting comes out. He has the baseball bat. Everybody backs off. Darby Allin comes in to make the save, or Darby Allin gets in trouble. Sting comes out to make the save, or Sting's going to come out and talk, or, it's every week. It's Sting comes out and talks. Every week, Sting comes out and talks. Now, they did change it up a little bit, and they had him take a power bomb which about scared the fucking shit out of me.
That
Considering,
11, did you see all the memes? He wasn't having a good day.
Oof.
Uh,
It's, I think he had spinal stenosis. I mean, I don't know if he should even be wrestling, to be honest. And I thought, okay, well, they're going to do a cinematic match. And I'm thinking, no, this may not be a cinematic match. This may actually be a legit, match. I'm thinking I just don't see how they do this and make everybody look good, because you make Team Taz look stupid, because it's like, yeah, Sting has a baseball bat. I'm like, motherfucker, there's 5 of you. There's 5 of you. Throw a fucking chair at him, or hell, I'll rush him at the same time. He can't hit you all with the bat at one time.
it reminds me of the Aladdin scene. He has a sword. We all have swords. One thing.
So, I mean, you got Team Taz looking stupid on this one, and then Sting does the same thing. I mean, it's like Tony Schiavone. It's like, Sting, how much more can you talk about this match? I mean, you've spoke about this match every Wednesday for the past 6 weeks, if probably more than that. I'm like, how much more can we talk? Okay, you had Darby get drug in a body bag. Okay, that spiced it up a little bit, but it's still just talk. Y'all really, I mean, I think Team Taz is going to lose. I don't think, after the way Sting got treated in WWE, there's no way. I don't think he loses his first match back, and especially his first match in AEW. I just don't see that. I just don't see him losing. I just don't. But Coco, put on your booking cap here. I need you to have Darby Allin and Sting win, but I need you to not make Brian Cage and Ricky Starks look fucking stupid.
All right. Well, it's hard. I'm going to put on my booking cap in a second. I just want to say one good thing, one bad thing. One good thing is, at least, a street fight will hide the fact that Sting is 487 years old. You can hide his weaknesses in a street fight. Hence why a lot of shitty indie wrestlers choose hardcore. The bad, I just wanted to throw this in. Are you actually listening to him talk? It reminds me of the movie Airheads. We're the Lone Rangers. Yeah, but there's 3 of yous. I know, we're the Lone Rangers. You're not exactly lone. I feel like that's like, if I was Tony Schiavone.
I mean, okay, I'm going to give you plus 150 points right there for making that reference.
It just reminds me, like, I'm a loner. We're loners together. It's like, what the fuck? So this team is Team Lone Rangers.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's like, what the fuck? The big problem is Brian Cage should be protected. The only way this works out is they're talking about a Hall of Fame guy coming back. There's rumors.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that later.
If the Hall of Fame guy doesn't save this match, there's not much. I mean, something has to distract Brian Cage. You know what I mean? Like, you have to book Brian Cage like he's the Incredible Hulk. You can't just have the Incredible Hulk.
So you got to have Ricky Starks eat the pin.
Yeah, Ricky Starks is definitely eating the pin. There's no doubt about it.
Which is sad.
Ricky Starks' diet is.
I really like Ricky Starks. I think he should be the TNT champion. I mean, look at the guy. He looks like $1 million, man.
Yeah.
And he can talk, man. He's got a cool look. He's always wearing cool clothes. Got the cool jewelry. Yeah, man. But I just kind of hate that he's kind of caught up with this.
Yeah. Team Taz, what the fuck, Taz? Just let it go, man. This fucking.
I know, if you're gonna do that, like, put Powerhouse Hobbs in there, because I mean, shit, he can eat some pins and not, look bad. It's like, oh, well, he's inexperienced, so he doesn't look bad. But when you got Ricky Starks in there, somebody you really want to push, and you've got Brian Cage, which, Jesus Christ, that guy's gonna be a contender.
Yeah, he just has to have a good push.
Yeah, and he married a hot ass woman too. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, man, you can't have him lose either. I'm just like, God, I feel bad for Team Taz.
I mean, most likely, Brian Cage and Sting are gonna. This is what's most likely gonna happen. Brian Cage and Sting are gonna fucking go and fight off onto the stadium or out into the fucking bullshit, and then Ricky Starks is gonna get pinned by Darby Allin.
The only thing I could think of maybe that saves it, if Darby Allin hits that move, the Last Supper, that quick pin on Starks, and then Starks, it's like he's trying to kick out, but he gets caught for the 3, and then he just pops up like, what the hell just happened? I think that's maybe about the only way you can do that. It just looks like, he just got caught there for a second, and that was it.
I mean, if you want to protect Sting, let's just say Sting is the most valuable product,
Exactly.
If you want to protect Sting, you know what I would do? Have Darby Allin turn on him. Because Darby Allin is small and can work a style that can protect Sting. I mean, if the main goal is to protect Sting, I would just have Darby Allin turn heel. But the problem is you're trying to make Darby Allin the next Sting, so it's just like bring your child to work, Dave, Lone Ranger style. I don't
think about it every time I hear that movie now.
Dude, I love that fucking movie. That's a classic movie.
If you kids have not seen that, check that out. It's a 90s comedy.
Oh God.
Brendan Fraser, Joe Montana, Adam Sandler.
A young Adam Sandler before when he was funny. I mean, he has to know he's not funny anymore. Like it's like, hey, it ain't what you used to be. I don't know. You know what? I just don't care. I guess my prediction will be Sting because, Chris Jericho and old people are fucking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho said a lot of controversial things, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's focus about the most controversial. He said we need these old fuckers, I'm paraphrasing, so that overseas markets will know who they are to make TV deals. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Stop. It's the biggest fucking lie in pro wrestling. Just stop. Just fucking stop. We need the Big Show because we can't get a fucking TV deal in India without the goddamn Big Show. Fucking what? I'm sorry. Fuck.
All right.
That's my final prediction. Fuck.
Okay. Now, because Darby Allin is, since it's a tag match, he's going to have to face whoever wins this next match. It's the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Whoever wins this gets a future opportunity at the AEW TNT Championship. Confirmed right now, we have Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Skye, Pentagon Jr., Lance Archer, and Max Caster of the Acclaimed, and one more competitor, a surprise entrance to be announced that evening. Whew. Well, let's see. Breaking this down, TBA, the to be announced guy. That's intriguing to me because I'm thinking it could be that person. There's two names that I've heard kicked around for this.
Well, according to the Big Show, it's Hall of Fame worthy. So
no. That's That's
Oh, is that someone else?
That's yeah. No, hang on.
I don't fucking know. There's supposed to be a Hall of Famer, but there's also supposed to be a fucking Luke Skywalker fucking plot twist at the end of a fucking Marvel series. So we could just say anything. Doesn't matter. Words don't mean anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Booms.
So I'm looking at, it's, it could be a future Hall of Famer. It could be, I've heard two names kicked around of who it could be. I've heard it could be, as far as the ladder match goes, I've heard, the two names I've heard kicked around is Speedball Mike Bailey and then Rob Van Dam are two names that I've heard kicked around.
All right. I love Rob Van Dam more than a fucking straight man should. With that said, what? Rob Van Dam was past his prime 10 years ago. The Face of Revolution. Fucking Revolution of ECW fucking one night stand comebacks? What the fuck? Oh, it hurts me to make fun of Rob Van Dam because he's seriously one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I have to go Pentagon Jr., maybe Lance Archer, but I mean it depends on it to be determined. But if it's Rob Van Dam, if they pull a good booking and it's Rob Van Dam and then a Hall of Fame guy comes out later, well played. But if Rob Van Dam is your Hall of Fame guy,
I'm thinking it may just be the big scoop. Is just going to be huge surprise. But is look, as it stands right now, my pick would be Scorpio Skye.
All right.
Just he's been back from injury. They put him out there this past week. They promoted him. I think it's time to pull the trigger on the guy. I think he's a big time player in that company.
I agree. Cody would be boring as fuck. Lance Archer would be interesting. Mac
And I'm not
Caster,
sure if
I don't think
if
it's
the
time
TBA
yet.
guy is the huge announcement. I'm thinking they're just going to announce they've signed somebody.
Yeah.
And we can get to that last.
I'm going to say Pentagon Jr. because then Pentagon Jr. wins the TNT titles. Pac and Ray Phoenix win the fucking tag titles down the line. You know, and then what is it called? The three-headed monster, the Triforce of Doom. But whatever
Death
the fuck.
Triangle. How the hell do you forget something like that?
The love triangle? What is it? But anyway, those three fuckers should be pushed, and obviously they're not going to give
do you
them.
want to take a stab at who TBA is?
My guess right now is, I mean, it's RV. This is my guess. This is my theory. This is how I'd book it. It would be RVD, and I'd put it earlier in the show so that, you know, super assholes, aka me, go on Twitter and go, "What the fuck? He's not Hall of Fame. He's fucking past his prime. What the fuck? This is TNA." And then when the real Hall of Fame guy comes out, it would be Kurt Angle or CM Punk or I don't know. The Hall of Fame thing is fucking throwing me off because it's just sad. Because here's the thing, Chris Jericho, I love you with all my heart, but you're just fucking wrong. You only need, just steal a line from Paul Heyman, you only need one goddamn superstar to sell. The rest are just a waste of fucking time. You know, when was TNA at its best? When they just had Christian Cage. When was it at its worst? When it had everybody. And we are borderline getting into Dixie Carter era right here. Like, I still think the biggest AEW mistake of all time was hiring Jim Ross. Biggest mistake ever. Now, we got the Big Show. We got fucking more Hall of Fames. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. You should have just stuck with Chris Jericho, and that's it. Chris Jericho should have been the selling point. Moxley, sure, why not? He's still got some years left in him. But everyone else, like, you know, who's fucking running this shit? Dixie Carter? So, I don't know. I would tease someone and then deliver someone great. But who are they going to get, you know?
I kept thinking, well, as far as to be announced, as far as this goes, I was thinking, you know, since it's to be announced, do you think it's maybe like, you know, we're all assuming here that this person's going to be, that whoever's to be announced is going to be somebody well known. How do we know it's not like a debuting like luchador or Japanese talent?
If that's the case,
or even a British person or Canadian or, you know,
well, the thing
what
is,
have you.
It's not bad as long as they can go. Here's the thing. I honestly think the Big Show on his world premiere fucking fucked up the to be determined as soon as it Hall of Fame because people think WWE wash up.
That's separate. I believe that is a separate deal. That is a separate deal.
I don't know. I just all I want. TBD. I just want you to be talented. That's all I want. Now, if the Hall of Fame guy is Okada, I'd shit my pants in excitement. I just want you to be talented. That's it. Am I an asshole? I don't care skin color. I don't care about letter color. I don't care about religion. I don't care about anything. When you fucking leave that curtain, are you a fucking talented wrestler? That's what I care about.
I just kind of hope it's not Rob Van Dam. I mean, I love Rob Van Dam for his work in the past. It's just that, I mean, look, guys, if you're going to spend that money on people that can give you some years and stuff, because, I mean, it's like, I'm not even sure spending money on the Big Show was a good idea.
Oh, it wasn't. It was a horrible idea. It's
I
just
mean,
the worst. Unless, of course, you got the Big Show and Shaq. That's about it. But it was a horrible idea.
You know, I'm going to go in this rant a little bit later, but I'm going to get through this pay-per-view first. But my pick is Scorpio Skye.
All right, my pick is Pentagon Jr., and I think we can agree if it's those two or Lance Archer, we can go away happy.
Yeah, I think we could.
Yeah.
Um, Real quick, next here is the singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. You have Hikaru Shida, the champion, defending against Ryo Mizunami. Mizunami won a tournament. She won the Japanese bracket and beat Nyla Rose in the finals on Dynamite. I think these two are going to have some pretty good match. They're going to have a very good match. I think these two have tied it up before. I think they do have a history, and I think they just wanted to do what they've done in Japan over here on this side of the Pacific. So I think it's going to be good. I'm going to have Hikaru Shida retain just because I just don't see Mizunami winning it because as far as I know, she's not signed, and I don't think she could take like the championship over to like Tokyo Joshi Pro or Ice Ribbon or Stardom or any other of the Japanese promotions and defend it there. Not that a lot of U.S. fans would follow that then there, and not that that would drum up a lot of business for interest in Japan to drive eyeballs to the product over here in the United States. I feel kind of bad because you don't want to. It's kind of like what New Japan does the G1. They have the guy go through hell. He wins the G1, goes into Wrestle Kingdom, and gets killed by the champion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Shida's gonna win. It's the longest title run.
I think this is going to be a good match. I think it actually might steal the show. They might make a run for match of the night.
Well, that's the thing. There's people that love Japanese women wrestling because they're perverts. And then there's people that hate Japanese women wrestling because it's different. I think these two women are going to go out there and show the world Japanese wrestling for the best.
I will say this. I watched the Japanese bracket, and I was impressed by what I saw. The one who really stood out to me was Maki Ito. If I mispronounced that, I do apologize. She really stood out to me. And, of course, I loved Yuka Sakazaki. I saw her run in AEW originally. I can't wait till she comes back. Emi Sakura, hope she gets to come back soon. Aja Kong, it's always good to see Aja Kong. I knew she'd been in the business for a while. I didn't realize how long she'd been in that business.
Oh yeah, she's been in here for a while.
She's been in like since the late '80s, and I'm like, fuck, bro.
Yeah. I say Shida wins it, but I think it's a showcase to show the world how great they can be. And on top of that, I just think it's the longest title run. You can't. You have to build someone up more than just a tournament that not everyone watched.
Yeah, because the Japanese bracket was played out on YouTube, and the only time you saw anybody with the Japanese bracket is when Ryu Mizunami made it onto Dynamite.
All right. Next match.
All right, we get to the main event. We get to Kenny Omega defending the AEW World Championship against the former champion Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match.
I think. Do you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Please, Coco, please.
I think this is going to be. I think you replace any of these two athletes, this is a disaster. I think Jon Moxley with his Combat Zone past, wanting to prove to the world that his style is important, proving that WWE style sucks balls. Kenny Omega, one of the probably greatest wrestler going today. You can make an argument with Ibushi, Okada, and a few others, and both of them have experience in these type of matches. I think you replace any of these two athletes with anyone else on the roster, AEW, WWE, TNA, whatever. Anyone in North America, you replace them with them, major North American companies, it's a complete failure. I think these guys are going to go all out. They're going to show the respect that the match deserves. People are going, especially I don't want to say the young, but the sensitive will be offended. They'll be like, it wasn't safe. But these two will show what an exploding barbed wire death match is. And I'm super excited. And I think this match alone sells the pay-per-view. I think Kenny Omega is the best wrestler going. Okada, I think, is up there. If Kenny Omega wins, they hit the music, Okada, and that's the Hall of Famer. Ooh! Like, don't get too excited. The Hall of Famer is going to let you down. Uh, John John Maxley. He's not the best wrestler in the world, but he's a great wrestler and has done this style before and has something that no one on the WWE roster understands and very few in the world understands. He has honor. He will want to fucking show the best version of this match. He wants to, he has pride. He has honor. These are things that are lacking in pro wrestling. So I think this might be match of the year. I think you are going to see Twitter explode going, this isn't safe, this isn't safe, this isn't safe. But these two men have pride, they have honor, and they're going to show the world what people of Japanese death wrestling love. So I think this is going to be the match, maybe match of the year. No, I think the only reason why it won't do well is because people don't like this style of pro wrestling. But outside of the sensitive, this match will be amazing. And if it was anyone else but Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley and maybe a few Japanese pro wrestlers and a few hardcore wrestlers that are not known worldwide, I think this is a huge letdown of a match. But I think these two do it. So I'm super excited for this. I'm picking Kenny Omega to win because, Booms, can I put on my booking cap for a while?
Please, please.
Thanos. What's that name again? Thanos. Kenny Omega is Thanos, and by his side is his golden lover Ibushi. And they are going to slowly but surely get rid of titles. And there's only going to be one champion standing, and that is going to be Kenny Omega versus his golden lover Ibushi. One title for all. Too many titles, Boom Boom. One title for all. All right, Mooms, your thoughts?
Wow, you just did that really creepy.
Sorry, man. I just want to fucking put it over. I hate too many titles. We got to fucking destroy them. I'm like the Thanos of championship belts. Destroy them all. All right, go ahead. There should only be one
looking
champ.
at this, I did have some concerns, but I realized if you're going to do this, you need to do this now. Because it's an exploding barbed wire death match. And I'm like, if you're dealing with any type of pyrotechnics, you probably want to do that outside. Daly's Place is an outdoor venue. If you also do that with any kind of pyrotechnics, you probably want to be not have that many members of the audience there. Well, due to COVID restrictions, attendance will be limited. Coco, you were there at Mania when the pyrotechnics went off, and some people, I think, they got burned or smoke inhalation?
Yeah, it was WrestleMania 24. Me, James Legend, I think Jerry O'Neill was there. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he was. Me and a bunch of KocoSports crew. Boom Boom couldn't make it, so it was like the whole KocoSports staff at the time went to WrestleMania, and in our section, the pyro just exploded and went into the crowd, and like a bunch of people were burnt. Yeah, it was really close to us, and people panicked, but it wasn't like life or death, but they definitely will have scars, and that's after WrestleMania 24 and all the lawsuits. I think they settled everything out of court, but all legal whatever the legal situation. That's when they got rid of the pyros, and WWE hasn't had pyros since because the fans in Orlando definitely left WrestleMania with scars.
Yeah, and that's something that I was worried about too. But if you have, limited capacity and those people are kept back, and it's an outdoor venue, you don't have to really worry as much about smoke inhalation. That eases some fears here. Everybody keeps bringing up Onita and Funk as the template for this. And yes, it was a good match. It was a brutal match. But what I think they should use as the template, and I'm going to keep saying this, is I think it should be the FMW match between Combat Toyota and Megumi Kudo. Megumi Kudo. It was Combat Toyota's retirement match in 1996. They did an exploding barbed wire death match, and you can find it right now on YouTube for free. So Combat Toyota, and it's not spelled with a T, it's spelled with a Y, and Megumi Kudo, they tore it up. I mean, it was just the perfect blend of drama and violence because they teased kind of going to the barbed wire early, but they didn't, and they just kind of like they were teasing the whole I'm going to throw my opponent in the barbed wire, but no, the other person would block it. And when they did get thrown in, I mean, the explosion went off, and they sold it like $1,000,000. I mean, it looked absolutely more brutal, and it was actually a really good match. I mean, because they were forced to wrestle in the middle of the ring without touching the ropes because they didn't want to trip off the explosives. So I feel like if AEW does that, if Moxley and Omega do that, it has potential to be great. But it could just be a garbage match, just blood and guts and gore. But what leads me to believe it's not going to be like that is because both of these guys are perfectionists. If their lights out match was any indication, it's going to be well done, well paced, and plus they've got a 30-minute time limit on it, and those explosives are going off. So these two are going to have to pace each other and at least be in a condition to wrestle after 30 minutes when all the explosives go off, because we all want to see the big boom.
Okay.
I just feel like we need to get Marvin the Martian. Where's the kaboom? Where's the earth-shattering kaboom?
Okay, hear me out, Booms. Hear me out. Are you ready? I just thought of this on the fly. Okay? I noticed all my fucking exciting storylines involve Kenny Omega versus Okada. But hear me out, okay? You won't see it coming. You won't see it coming! There's a big explosion. They're both laying down in blood. And when the fucking flames go down, it's the Rainmaker, Okada. And that's your Hall of Fame talent.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, my God. Life would be good. Now I'm excited. Yeah. I'm going to be let down. Don't ever get excited, kids. You'll always be let down.
Yeah, this is one of the...
Hold on. I just want to rephrase that. Has anything been more said about North American wrestling than that? Don't get excited, kids. You'll always be let down. North American Pro Wrestling. Go on.
But this is a match I think it's had a little bit of a hiccup. I think the only thing I would have done differently is maybe delayed Omega challenging Moxley to that barbed wire death match by a week, because I'd want him to beat up Moxley that week, and then the next week beat him up again, and then just have him do a promo being like, you know what? It's like, I can't keep doing this week after week after week. I beat you up, you come back for more. I beat you down again, you get back up and you come back for more. And it's like, I can't do this. I can't do this every week while I'm champion. So you know what? I realize if I'm going to take you down, I'll put the belt on the line, but I'm taking you down for good. Exploding barbed wire death match. What do you say? And then they could have done everything that they did, and I think that would have been fine. Because I think they really could have sold it as, why do they immediately jump from, instead of just like a regular rematch, why they jump directly why did they go to the nuclear option immediately? So I think it would have better explained that. And plus, my prediction for this is Omega, because Omega is the one who made the challenge. And you've seen the vignette where he was doing construction. He was building the rig that's going to be used. So you got to think he's having, that this is a trap, and that he's baited Moxley into walking right into it. So interested to see what kind of trap Moxley's going to walk into.
Yeah, so I'm very interested, and it's definitely a pay-per-view heavy, main event heavy pay-per-view. But yeah, you're right, Larry. We should be ending it soon. Don't worry. That's my bird, Larry Bird. All right, Boom Boom. Let's plug some stuff. We're going to put this up as soon as we can, and maybe a pay-per-view review. It would have been a lot easier if it was Saturday, but so we'll see. We still have a 5 stars or better and a Stump the Idiot to post to.
Yeah. Real quick, who do you okay, we kind of don't know who the mystery man's going to be in the ladder match, but who's the big signing? Any predictions on that one? I'm thinking it's not CM Punk, it's not Brock Lesnar. Why? Because if it was Punk, if it was Lesnar, why the fuck would you just wouldn't go ahead and just say it's going to be CM Punk or Brock Lesnar and pop more pay-per-view buys?
I don't know. That's a good point.
You know, it's not Batista. It could be Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
But we're assuming now, and I think this is where it's going to get us all in trouble here, is we're assuming it's a former WWE guy. We're all making that assumption.
Well, I mean, there's a history for that assumption. We've always been let down.
True.
You know.
Well, I think about it when the last time they had a debut, remember it was Matt Sydal. Then the other surprise was
that was a horrible surprise.
Mercedes Martinez before she signed with NXT. I mean, these are some surprise entrants we've had before, so it wouldn't be unprecedented. And Brian Cage was a surprise at one point. So it wouldn't be unprecedented for it to be a non-WWE guy. I just hope it's not an old guy on his last leg. That's what I'm hoping it's not that.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone's hoping for. My money is on. My money is definitely on Kurt Angle or Brock Lesnar. That's who my money's on. That's it. I don't think Dave Batista would bother. You know, I don't think CM Punk.
No, but Batista's already said no. Punk's already said no.
Yeah, but of course that's what you would say. But still, the thing is, I think CM Punk has missed his boat, and I don't know. The fact that they're not advertising it makes me wonder if it is CM Punk.
I've heard.
Because if you advertise CM Punk, no one's buying that pay-per-view. Who's buying a pay-per-view to see CM Punk? And I love CM Punk, but that boat has sailed. As soon as he showed up on Fox, every fan that had his back gave up. You know, I mean, no real wrestling fan supported CM Punk the second he walked onto that stage. You know? So it could be CM Punk because it's like, oh, face the revolution, bullshit. But also, like, who would buy the pay-per-view with CM Punk?
You know, another name I've heard kicked around is Christian.
That would be nice, but you know, how many Dixie Carter jokes can you make in one day? You know what I mean? Like how much?
I really. You brought this up earlier, and
sorry.
You know, I really don't know who it's going to be, even though the signs are pointing to Kurt Angle, and I could be completely wrong, and I hope I'm wrong because I really don't want to see Kurt Angle wrestle. Why? Because I actually want to see Kurt Angle have the ability to walk under his own power in 20 years. But that's just me.
Gone soft, Boom Boom. You've gone soft.
Yeah,
How dare you care about another human being?
I just feel like right now, this is kind of like a trap that AEW's fallen into. Everybody, and this is why WWE has survived, because WWE can weather the storm. They're McDonald's. You know what you're going to get before you even go in. And they've made billions doing it. You know, McDonald's made all their money by selling 2 all beef patties, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. That's how they made their. It doesn't matter that you got a mom and pop shop next door that actually pats out the patties. They do it custom, whatever toppings you want on there. Maybe a little secret seasoning on there that they use. It doesn't matter. I mean, they can only last for so long. But you got the corporate chain. You got, you've got the advertisement. You got everything behind it. And AEW right now with Tony Khan is spending money like crazy, and I'm just saying, if Tony, follows wrestling history like we think he does, I would like to point him out to Bill Watts, Jim Crockett Jr., who just passed away this week, God rest his soul, Dixie Carter, and Ted Turner. I would, or even tie off Eric Bischoff to Ted Turner on that one. What happened in all those instances? They tried to compete with the E. They started spending money like crazy. They started getting bloated rosters with a lot of talent. They even went to older people in some cases. And what happened? They went out of business. They spent too much. They were hemorrhaging too much money. They could not get a return on their investment. I mean, yeah, it might. If you spend $1 million on, let's just say this Kurt Angle. are you going to get that? Are you going to make enough money back based off of that signing to justify giving him $1 million? I'm not saying that's what he's making. I'm not even saying it's Kurt Angle, but would you make enough money from, pay-per-view sales, ad revenues, merchandise sales, and other types of properties? Would you make enough money back off of that to justify spending that kind of money?
I didn't even hit the mute button that time. Sorry, man. My allergies are killing me, brother. It's a great question. I'm sorry to cut you off like that. I really mean to, brother. I think the only person that does that, you lay all that out. I think the only person that even comes close is Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar is the only person that even comes close to laying that out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. The rest, I'm not sure. I mean, because the thing is, the way they're making it sound, it's not a talent exchange. So I feel that eliminates all New Japan's roster.
Yeah, eliminates that. I don't think it's going to – I was thinking maybe it's going to be Nick Aldis, but I was like, no, the NWA's got they're going to have to take care of their own problems soon enough.
See, that's the problem too, is like, even if you were used to it being a WWE guy just because of history, but outside of it being a WWE guy, who they have working agreements with everybody. So, like, here's the thing. Let's say it shocks the world and it's Okada. Or, well, he's the only one that doesn't have a title. But let's say it's Okada. It's not. But just for the sake of this argument, it is. Well, then you just cut off a talent exchange. You think New Japan's going to work with you if you steal Okada? You know what I mean? Is TNA anyone?
So it's got to be a free agent. It's got to be somebody who was signed, whose contract is expired now. WWE laid off a bunch of people, and are you going to get somebody? I mean, what if it's? And I'm thinking, don't get too hyped up, because what if it's like? Because if it was somebody that huge like a Punk or a Lesnar, you would just go ahead and say it now.
I disagree about Punk. I don't think you would say it.
They could not wait to announce that Paul White had been signed, and
That's true.
I
just think, as far as not announcing it and being a big name, like that aspect, I think it's Punk.
I mean, what if it turns out? I mean, because I'm thinking,
who's the worst case? Let's do the opposite. We're trying to think of best case scenario. What's the worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario, they hire
Jeff Jarrett. I don't know. No offense,
if they
Jeff
hire,
Jarrett.
basically, WCW tried this. TNA tried this, where they took the WWE cast-offs who were in the twilight of their careers.
Mick Foley.
They were wanting too much money, and they were giving it to them, and they were giving. I'm like, I mean, just worst case scenario, they're giving it to a guy who can maybe only go, a handful of dates a year, that wants too much money. It's past their prime, and they're just kind of coasting off their legacy.
Yeah. The only one worth the money is Brock Lesnar. The only one that makes sense that they wouldn't announce it is CM Punk. I think everyone else is a letdown. And Kurt Angle, I think he has something to prove. It would be amazing. But also, you got people that care about Kurt Angle's health.
What if it's, and I'm not saying I would be disappointed. This is just somebody who popped in my mind. Is just somebody who's available that I think would fit in with AEW. What if it's somebody like, Chris Hero?
I would just turn it off. I don't even hate Chris Hero.
I mean, I don't hate him either. I mean, I think
I just be like, what?
Acquisition, but I'm just saying, what if you hype up something like that and that's who it is, and you're just like, oh, no wonder you wouldn't tell us.
Yeah, I just if it's not a main eventer that can go for at least 1 year, I'm just turning it off. You know what I mean?
I mean,
that's it. I mean, that's a fair bet, right? I mean, and here's the thing. You don't have to go forever. You know what I mean? But you have to be able to do 1 year of decent, at least 6 decent matches. If we're not getting 6 decent matches out of you.
And here's another thing. If I'm trying to compete with WWE, well, they say they're not competing with WWE, but if I'm going to spend that kind of money, why the hell would I want to spend that kind of money on somebody who's only going to wrestle a limited schedule? I get your point. And the only person that breaks that point is Brock Lesnar. If you have Brock Lesnar and he only shows up every now and then, and you have him with a good mouthpiece, he's money. You know what I mean?
I really do believe that. So what if I just read on Twitter? Someone says, "What if it's the Undertaker?"
Oh yeah, nah. God, I hope he's done. What if it's like Bully Ray? I know that's somebody he kind of
I
like
love
jumped in that.
I love the Dudleys with all my heart. I would turn it off if it was Bully Ray. I was like, all right, cool, click. Yeah. Because here's the thing: if it's Bully Ray and it's not the Dudleys, if it's the Dudleys, I'm like, cool, not worth the hype. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing too: like, you got to be careful what you hype up. Because if you hype up everything, then no one's gonna give a fuck about your hype. And as far as a entertainment product goes, you kind of have to worry about that. You know what I mean? So you can't be like, this is gonna be the biggest thing in the world and not deliver. You know? And are you okay, Bear? We got tons of allergies here in Japan. Me and Bear, and Larry too. But you can't hide. You know what I mean? And that's the thing too. Disney has done this recently. WWE does it all the time. TNA is horrible at it. You know what I mean? AEW, their reputation is slowly but surely going down. And maybe they didn't want this thing to get out of hand, but, Bob Barker's show, The Big Show, with his stupid smile saying he's Hall of Fame worthy, it took off. So now it can't be a letdown. Like, there's a part of me that if it's, let's just say it's a random fucking dude, with all the hype that's picked up because of the stupid-ass Big Show, I would be signing people. I would be like, oh, fuck, who do we have?
I'm sure if the route AEW's even going is the right one, because, think about it. They've hired Sting. They've now hired Big Show. Has their ratings gone up?
I don't know, to be honest.
Or has it gone up enough to justify those signings?
No. Well, because the thing is, Chris Jericho is playing the part of Hulk Hogan. Oh, you need these people so that overseas markets do it. And it's the biggest lie that rich people fall for. It is by far the biggest lie rich people fall for. It's like, well, you're right. I do need all these WWE guys to get overseas markets. Fucking moron. You think anyone in goddamn India gives a fuck about the Big Show?
WCW did that in the mid-90s. Remember, they signed Hulk Hogan. They signed Randy Savage. They signed the Honky Tonk Man. They signed IRS. They signed the Boss Man. They signed John Tenta. They signed virtually Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Virtually every Bobby the Brain Heenan. Hell, Mean Gene Okerlund. Every ex-WWE personality they could get a hold of, they signed. And there wasn't. They only, and no disrespect to them, and they deserve respect. But when you sign that many people for that much money, and they've only got so much time, left on their bodies, because that's, they've already put wear and tear on it. And meanwhile WWE is just like, okay, well, we're gonna push these young whippersnappers, Steve Austin and The Rock and Triple H and.
The funny thing is, you're saying that in the '90s. Vince is saying that now.
Oh yeah.
Vince is like, we lost Brock Lesnar. Let's push this young kid stone cold. Let's get The Rock back. What if it's The Rock?
And then,
that's the thing. I think The Rock is up there with Brock. Like, that would be a legit signing. Granted,
and
it's
Impact
sense.
did the same thing. Impact, with the route, they said, okay, let's sign Hulk Hogan, let's sign Sting, let's sign Kevin Nash, let's sign any kind of old, oh God, who was the former Christian Cage was a former WWE guy, Billy Gunn. They were Road Dogg. They were signing anybody who was with WWE at one point, just bringing them on there, and it just became, it's like, okay, we're watching WWE Light instead of Impact Wrestling, and I feel like maybe AEW's going down that same route.
That route is definitely my biggest fear.
Because remember, kids, this start spending that money that fast. It dries up quickly. Again, look at Dixie Carter, look at Jim Crockett, look at what's it, Vern Gagne. Look at all those guys. They tried to, they spent a lot of money trying to compete with Vince, and then And all WWE had to do was just weather the storm and just ride it out. Because remember, they're the McDonald's of pro wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I guess let's end with this. In the
All right.
comments, if you made it this far, will the Hall of Fame guy be a letdown or will it be a big win? Booms, your prediction. Letdown or big
Hey,
win?
I think, here's what and I know this is going to be a cop out, but here's what I think it is. It's going to wind up being somebody. It's like, okay, it's not the worst they could have done. It's not, earth shattering, but they could have done worse. I think that's what I'm going to say at the end.
Got it. So completely push. I don't know. I only think there's a handful of people that it won't be a letdown. And that's the problem. I think CM Punk won't be a letdown for half the people. Brock Lesnar won't be a letdown for half the people. That's the thing. A lot of it is who will be happy, because obviously not everyone's going to be happy, but who do you get that 80% of the world or more is happy? I think they fucked up with this thing. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, in the comments, put down your predictions on if the Hall of Fame guy will be a letdown or a big win. Booms, plug some stuff because everyone in my house seems to have allergies.
Everybody's sick. So visit DaveCoco.com. Be sure to visit KocoSports Twitch TV /KocoSports. Coco plays, hockey. He plays Madden. He plays Fall Guys. He sucks at it, but God bless him, he tries. So just, tune into it for that. He's also got a couple of books out. They're both available on Amazon.com. First one is Operation Freak Show, not for the faint of heart. That's more for mature readers. However, he does have Lucky the Orphan, which is aimed more so at young adults. So if you've got, 10, 11, 12-year-old that you're looking for them something to read that's not lame this summer, pick them up a copy of that. You can also check out our website. That's KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports, where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Give us a like. Hit that notification bell because, well, YouTube's not so good about pushing our videos out and alerting you that we've got new stuff out. So if you want to be up to date, make sure you got us subscribed and you hit that little bell. That really helps us out. And, be sure to drop some comments because we've actually been using some of those comments for our Stump the Idiot show. You can just ask just a general, one question we did that I think we've got posted up or about to post up is who was more influential, Rey Mysterio or Jushin Liger? And Coco and I had a good time with that show. We really had to think on that one. So, stuff along those lines, we'll always, if you have a good enough comment, we might actually do a show around it. So, it pays to interact with us.
All right. Love you, brother. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll try slowly but surely make more and more content. All right. With that, I am over. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.